Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at what is possibly the most game-changing update in quite a while. It came out yesterday in the game. You might have seen it already. We're going to have some stuff rolling in the background here, by the way. We'll come back to this, don't worry. We've got lots of fights will be happening in the background. We're not going to miss much. But this is the new Ascension reroll system. We got some gifts yesterday as well. 20 free Chaos Dust and then 20 free Chaos Powder. And these let you re-roll the Ascensions on gear. Now, what is amazing about this, and really surprised me, I didn't see it coming, is that you can actually re-roll this stuff infinitely. You can keep on going, but the cost goes up and up and up. Why is this such a big deal? Why does this potentially change the entire game? Well, it's very simple. Seeing as you can now re-roll it infinitely, it's not like with Chaos or with gear where you can only do it one time, and if it doesn't work out, well, tough luck. That piece of gear is basically dead. This way you can keep going. The cost seems to be very high. It's going to take a lot of runs of the dungeons to get it done, a lot, but it does mean that, let's say, again, over here, if we jump back for a second, crit damage, 6-star, mythical, merciless, accessory. That's insane with crit damage. I was very lucky and I did get crit damage on it without having to re-roll it. But this is an accessory you really want crit damage on. Like, that's an extra 12% crit damage for Sun Wukong, for example. In this case, you can put that on Razelvarg. There's tons of good skinwalkers. That's a really big deal, right? That is huge, being able to get that. And now you can guarantee it. Even bigger, possibly, is Sand Devil. With Sand Devil, you can now get speed on your boots. You can get, let's say for a damage dealer, you can come in, get an extra 12 speed on your boots, an extra 20% attack on your chest piece, and an extra 20% crit damage on your gloves. And you can do that for every single nuker simply by grinding it out and putting it on like your very best gear. That's a game changer. That's a ton of extra stats for everyone. Of course, you could do the same thing. I'd say, obviously, damage gear, so lethal, savage, and merciless right now. These are top priority ones for your nukers to get that extra damage. It makes a huge difference. I'd say other big differences, difference makers, if you've bought any bolster set, right, bolster, you can get HP % Ascension now on the gloves, the chests, and the boots. And that's massive because it's such a limited set, bolster. It's only if you buy it, really. And yeah, with bolster, you want to have the HP % on those bottom pieces. Now you can guarantee that you will ultimately, with enough grinding, unlock HP % bonus Ascension. That's an extra 20% in each piece. That's 60% more HP %. That's equal to a whole new chest piece, basically, minus the substats. It's pretty big, right? That really adds up. So all of this stuff is pretty huge. Your speed boosters, having them be 12 speed faster, having just everyone potentially be 12 speed faster. What you're seeing in the background is now what I'm working on, which is slowly working through, well, not slowly, I've done it. It's fully unlocking the Phantom Shogun. I built this team before. So let me bring the team up again. I did do a whole video on this team in the past. You can look it up. It's Phantom Shogun with basically 4 rares. And in fact, Elenarl over here is totally replaceable. She is a damage dealer. Literally, the only thing you need is a damage dealer that's 252 speed exactly for this team to work in this particular setup. That's it. It's that simple. And this does do stage 25 full auto. What's interesting, I did have some comments on that video of, can you get up to stage 25 using that team? So we started here today at around, using the exact same team that I built in the video, just about. We started it around floor 16 or something. I was able to just brute force my way up to there, and that's where it started getting a bit harder. So from something like stage 16 all the way up to stage 25, I was able to make it. We ran into a couple of things. Here's a couple of tips for how to get through with my Phantom Shogun team to get up. What problems did I run into? So number one, I did have the wrong blessing on Gnarlhorn, so be really careful, especially for stage 25 where the speed tune actually works. Be really careful there's no masteries or blessings that are going to affect turn meter or speed. That's really important. So watch out for any of those. Problem number 2 I found going up, at one stage on some of the boss levels, I think when I use red affinity, sometimes he would actually hit Elenarl, because you can sort of see by her HP bar, she's super squishy. So I actually had to rebuild Elenarl with a bunch of HP. The reason she's in there as a damage, by the way, is an irresistible burn on her A1. And it would certainly speed up the runs a lot if you've any burner. that you want, 252 speed, so long as they've got no turn meter boosting stuff. Any burner could work, 252 speed. And Brimstone would really speed it up as well. Brimstone would add a lot of damage. I don't have any blessings on Elenarl though. And the rest, it's 4 rares. I covered it in that video. But yeah, I had to switch Elenarl to be tankier because sometimes the boss would target her. So if you have trouble with the boss targeting other champions and not Gnarlhorn, the problem is that they're not tanky enough. So you need to increase their defensive stats and then you should be okay. Problem number 2 I ran into on just on nearly every single stage, the speed tune doesn't work. So you need to manually make sure that Reliquary Tender saves her cleanse for when all of the debuffs go out on your whole team, right? So first of all, he's going to, look at this. You need to sync that up. So it syncs up fine, I found, on most of the stages for the first time. But after that, Reliquary Tender is going to be too fast all the way until you're on stage 25. Should be too quick. So you need to delay her every single time. Another problem I ran into on a few of the different stages was the speed tune would break a bit with Paragon and Gnarlhorn and the Unkillable. And sometimes Gnarlhorn would actually lose Unkillable. So what I found was for the later stages, whenever Gnarlhorn was on one turn of Unkillable and it was his go first, I'd have him put Unkillable on himself. And then I'd wait again until that went to one turn and then do it with Paragon. You can see right there I did it wrong. So that's something I worked out over a few stages, was you can cycle Unkillable permanently on Gnarlhorn using his own one and Paragon's. Now, on the actual run on stage 25, Gnarlhorn just spams his A1. He doesn't have to do anything, right? So like right here, it looks like the boss is going to smack us and we all die, right? So that's where you want to just reapply Unkillable when there's one turn left on it with either Paragon or Gnarlhorn, and just do it like so, because otherwise you can die and not quite make it through. As you can see, I think we almost take him down. It's like close. No, not this time. So there was a little bit of back and forth to get it. I think I failed on this stage a few times, but we did ultimately get there. And then the final thing for stage 24, I did have to switch out Elenarl for Newt to make that work. It didn't work otherwise. And again, you don't actually need the exact speeds. Like my Newt was 251 speed, whereas with this tune it's 252, but the tune only works on stage 25 properly. So I was able to bring in a Newt and we were able to smash stage 24 very easily. So any red stages, you can bring in Newt instead and he's going to absolutely rinse the boss with his max HP. Or you could put him in Affinity Breaker and have him just go in on any stage and he'd absolutely destroy the boss. It's sort of up to you. But yeah, 1 second here. Let me show you what I got. I did 100 runs on stage 25. Let me show you. So this is what I got. We eventually did get to stage 25. This team does it, I'd say, on average in about 1 minute 40 seconds. That's locked on 60 frames per second. If it was unlimited, it would be faster. If we had Brimstone and Elenarl, it would be significantly faster. And yeah, from 100 runs, 100, we got 18 of the new dust for re-rolling. So you got 20 for free, right? You got over 100 runs worth of this dust for free thanks to Plarium, which is pretty cool. Certainly you're going to be able to upgrade more gear potentially than you could if you're unlucky with your re-rolls. It could take quite a while. Let's throw some on right now though. Let's see it. Because there's a couple of cool things about this that we want to look out for. So for example, I was thinking Rotus. Oh, never mind. He's got crit damage on it. Whoops, hang on. Who would we want stuff reroll for? How about over here? How about Ragash? Okay, Ragash is a damage dealer. He has a defense ring. That's triple roll and defense percent. That's really good, but it's got attack. We would want this to be defense. Now here's the really cool thing. Another awesome thing. When you use Chaos Ore, you can in theory roll the exact same piece of gear, right? But with reworking the Ascensions, it will not be the same as the current bonus. So I basically have a 50-50 here. When I rework this, it costs 3 to rework it, a 50-50 to change it to defense instead. So let's go. Yeah, let's rework it. And there we go. We got defense. Now it's gone up to 4. I think it goes up in cost like 7 times. I think it caps out, I believe, at 10 per, which is really expensive, right? That's at least 50 runs of the dungeon to attempt to re-roll it once. So that gets very, very expensive. That's a pretty big deal. But hey, there we go. We now have a defense ring. We can ascend it with defense and get more defense percent. That's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be prioritizing, and let's go through. Let's actually do this right now with the stuff I've farmed, because I've not done any Phantom Shogun ever. This is my first time. I did it on the test server for you guys. I never bothered in the game, but now I'm kind of excited to do it. So here we go. There we go. We're up to 12% crit damage on that. on Mr. Monkey. Mr. Monkey is very, very happy. Let's see, how good is his ring? Is it any good? Not really. I wouldn't probably bother with this one. Only one roll in attack. We want to get him a better one. This banner is nice, though. Double attack with some speed. It's accuracy. I think this is worth it. Let's ascend it once. In fact, you could pretty much ascend it the whole way. Hey, it got accuracy. You know what? That's good enough for me. Let's get Monkey more accuracy. That's totally fine. Again, we could... Oh, there we go. It's a bit bugged out. We could try re-roll it into attack, but honestly, I'll take the accuracy for Wukong. That's pretty good. For most nukers, you go attack. And like his stats are going up a lot now. Let's take a look at his chest piece. His chest has got crit rate. It does have a lot of speed. This will definitely be used. Let's see if we can re-roll this. Right now, this is going to be one of the hardest ones. And these are going to be a big deal. Trying to get your bottom pieces of gear up. Flat HP, that sucks. We really want it to be attack percent. We take accuracy as well. This could take all of our stuff and not go to the one we want it to. It's gone resistance. We don't want it. This costs 4 now. Where's it going this time? Flat defense. Back to flat defense. We've spent... Here we go, another 5. Defense percent. It's better, but it's not what we want. 6 this time, and now we're going to be out of this stuff, I think. Yeah, I'm back to flat defense. We just spent everything, and we got nothing. It's going to be very difficult. You know, it's going to be frustrating. You could go over and over and over and not get this, but you will get it eventually. But be very careful. Chest is probably the worst with 8 different things it can be. Gloves, we obviously wouldn't re-roll these. Gloves are pretty difficult as well, though I would say for a damage dealer here, attack percent, crit rate percent, or crit damage percent, they are all viable. They're all fine. So if I got any of those, I'd probably stop. So you've got like 3 out of 8 are good. That's almost 50% chance. It's not far off of it actually being good. And you could potentially even take HP percent or defense percent for a HP percent or defense nuker. Like this glove with HP flat stat, 1 roll in it, this would work just as well for a HP percent damage dealer as for an attack percent one. Boots are going to be tricky as well. We definitely would want like speed boots here for him. We don't have enough. Again, with a damage dealer, you might be happy with attack percent or speed. It's not as bad as the chest piece, but it's kind of rough. You got 7 options and you're looking the 1 out of 7 for speed. I guess it's 1 out of 6 because you can't re-roll the same thing you are. So you got a 1 in 6 chance to hit speed. It's going to take a few rolls, but you'll get there eventually. But yeah, so you can see it's going to be a bit rough. And of course, to get these, what do you got to do? You have to clear stage 25. That's the big thing. So I can do it in Phantom Shoguns with my team, and like, yeah, 136, like I said, was the best time. Again, doing the other ones on manual, they only took about 2 minutes. Like this is where we kicked off, I think stage 17. It took about like 2 minutes each one. It's fine. Then 136, roughly 140, you know, on full auto, you're getting 1 to 3 of these. Like I said, about maybe 16, 18 or so per 100 runs. I think that it's... So someone works at... Hang on. Okay, I've got the info here. This is from Mullet Reaver. He says that there's an 8% drop chance, and it's separate to get a bonus drop of your Chaos Powder, or likewise on Sand Devil. 8% chance, and then it's even. You know, 1/3 of the time you get 1, 1/3 of the time you get 2, 1/3 of the time you get 3. So on average, you've got like an 8% chance to get 2, roughly speaking. So yeah, 16 for every 100 runs or 2,000 energy. 16 of these. So I got a little lucky. I got a few extra, but that's how many it's going to take. Sand Devil, it's the same thing. It's only from stage 25. So stage 25 is really the place to farm. It's so much better than stage 24 now. Sand Devil is tricky. Like, I don't have a team that can beat Sand Devil 25. Yeah, I just don't have a team that can do it. We cheesed this like originally when it came out with... what was the orc guy where there was a cheese that you could unlock it? That was hilarious. One of the fastest bugs they ever fixed. Nogdar could just solo the boss. It was super stupid. It was hilarious. But yeah, over in Sand Devil, that's tough. You can do it with Blizzar, so that's my hope. If you got the 4 or 5-star soul for Blizzar, I'm going to have to buy his 5-star soul. He can solo it, but it is fairly stat intensive still. And here's the downside. If you book him, it's not as effective. I made this mistake. I booked mine up, and I was talking to Biohacker earlier today, and he said if you book him, he could hit the Brimstone at the wrong time and put it on cooldown, and it doesn't affect the boss. So your run for Sand Devil, instead of being like a 3-minute run, could become a 15-minute run if it goes out of sync. Maybe you can leave cryotherapy turned off, but I think it still might break it. I think having this on the 5-turn cooldown made it sync up. I don't know. So that's something for me to find out. If I get him to 5-star, we just got to wait for him to show up in the shop. I'll get him built up for Sand Devil 25, and we'll see if we can make it work. You can obviously do it with Godseeker and Eerie as well, but Godseeker also, I think, needs to be 5-star ascended for it to work. So I'm sort of stuck there too. My best Godseeker is only 2-star, so I'm really stuck. I just can't get... I can't do stage 25 of Sand Devil, but they're the sort of the two ways. Plarium has also told us, the content creators, when we were chatting to them, they are considering reworking Sand Devil because they've looked at the data, and I think they are not happy that most people are not able to fight the boss properly. That people have to resort to Blizzard solos now, that's new, but Godseeker especially, and cheesing the boss with Godseeker and stuff like that. I think they're not quite happy with that. They want you to be able to do the boss properly, so I'm hoping that they will nerf this boss and make it easier to do, and then you might actually be able to do it without needing like really specific blessings and really specific champions, which sucks, because again, stage 25, you gotta be there now. That's the place to be. Not only does it give you by far the most stuff, the most bang for your buck, it also gives you a ton of points for CVC, and there can be 2x Sand Devil or Phantom Shogun for CVC, and that's well worth farming now in CVC. It's great, not as fast as Spider, but still very, very worthwhile. Yeah, you want to get this Chaos Dust. This Chaos Dust is so valuable. You're going to need tons of it to get your nukers geared. Like you saw, we spent almost all of mine and didn't get the thing we wanted, right? There's tons of farming that needs to go in, thousands upon thousands of energy. But it will make an absolutely massive difference in the end. It's going to be huge. It's going to be game-changing. So yeah, look, there you go. That's a quick look at this new content. Let me know, what do you think about this? Honestly, I'm really positive about it for the most part. Like, my only gripe, it might have been nice if you could drop the dust on like the chaos stuff on lower levels. That's my main, I guess, my main complaint. Like, hey, if you could get, you know, I don't know, like 1 to 2 from level 20 to 24, and then maybe you get like one of them for, I don't know, levels 10 to 20. You can lower the drop rates even, you know, whatever, but just give some way to get some. That'd be great. I think having it only be a thing in stage 25, that does suck a bit, though I am expecting these. I think they've said that they will show up in like events and tournaments and heroes paths and stuff like that, so that's cool. There's going to be a fun way to get them. I mean, that's how I've been getting most of my extract before this, right? I wasn't doing any Phantom Shogun, I just got some from doing events and stuff, and I think that's been quite fun. So yeah, I just hope that these are accessible, but my gosh, having unlimited rerolls, having it not reroll the stat it currently is, like all that stuff is pretty cool, honestly. Like, it's a pretty good move. So yeah, I'm kind of impressed, honestly. And if they nerf Sand Devil or just make it more accessible, like even keep it as hard, but have it just be more accessible, more ways to do it. It is just too niche right now. And that's great. Okay, cool. Now we're talking. But I actually think it's quite fun to try build up like the perfect sets of gear. And this takes some of the randomness out of it. You still have randomness. You can still re-roll a bunch of times, get the wrong thing. But ultimately, this can be an attack percent chest with attack percent Ascension. We can get there. It's just going to take some time. And it will add up to a lot of extra stats and a lot of extra power. It's going to make a big difference. Like, you know, at the end of the day, imagine having 12 extra speed on every single 6-star boot on your account. Like, that's a lot of power right there. So yeah, there you go, guys. So let me know what you think. Again, you can find the link to my the Phantom Shogun team I was doing in the background. Oh, we beat it there. I think this is stage 24, I guess. Yeah, this looks like it's the last stage. Yeah, stage 20. No, it's stage 23, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe that's stage 25. Yeah, hang on. Here was stage 24 where we put in the newt. And you can see the run with the newt. We just stuck in a newt instead, and newt's gonna absolutely smash this thing down. Yeah, you can find the full details for this team, the speeds that you need, the stats, etc. Full guide of that is on my channel for doing Phantom Shoguns. Like I said, it's very accessible. It's 4 rares and then a damage dealer of your choice. Again, you could use just another Cold Heart, right, if you wanted. That's totally fine. You just, like, the advantage of rares is that they have lots of Ascension levels. It's easy to get rare blessings over time, which makes this easy to do because you do need a certain amount of blessings to keep this Phantom Shogun counter down. So that's sort of what's going on there. But yeah, guys, this has been that. It's kind of a game changer. I'm really hoping to get that Blizzard blessing soon and build it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this update, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.